Welcome back, welcome back. This is Sports First, number one in sports. As always, I am your host, Sabotage. Today we're going to get into some UFC recap, as in the recap of UFC 256. Pretty much get down on the get down, as in just go through a couple of the matches. Maybe, it's gonna be short and sweet, so that means we ain't gonna take too long. Uh, if by the end, I'm not gonna try to make it too long. By the end, I might, talk a little bit about fights that are gonna be coming up. If not, it's whatever. Really, we're just trying to do this is pretty much a recap. So let's get right into it. The main event you all should know if you're a UFC follower, as in Gane, Derek Lewis, the Black Beast. The start of the card was Casey Kenny, Song Dae-yong. Didn't catch any of the prelims or the early prelims, so pretty much just going to be talking about the main fights, as in the main fights on the card. So yeah, let's get right into it with the fight I was just saying. Song pretty much had the fight the whole way. I mean, there was nothing that Casey Kenny really wasn't doing too much. I mean, there was a couple of hits that looked like if he would have just hit right, if with a little more power, he could have actually knocked out Song. But yeah, none of them really like. I mean, I guess a couple of shots did land, but just not how he like with power and all, just pretty much off balance in a way, I guess. There was a knee he did throw, I think it was in the second round, that if it would have landed, it would have been ugly. There was a couple of kicks that Kenny threw. I mean, after it did go to decision, but as many of you saw, Casey Kenny was actually he went up on the cage acting like he had won the fight or something, and I'm like, man's is delusional, Obviously, he even knew, even though went up to the cage, thinking, he had the support of them Houston fans out there. But come on, man, you can't be doing that. Even though you just had a pretty bad fight. I would say it was. I mean, I don't think he got any of the rounds, to be honest. Even though, they didn't really hold back. I was surprised that Song at the very end of the fight wasn't really holding back, because he could have. He pretty much had the fight won. Pretty much every category. Body, leg, and head. Pretty much all around. Striking just to the combinations were even there for Song. Nothing really was off for him, but Casey Kenny just really wasn't landing anything too big for me. I think there was actually one punch straight to the face. It was right to the face, but obviously Mr. Song, the Song man, wasn't really too phased by it, because he just dominated, man. Very good, important win. Good. Very important win for Mr. Strong in the bantamweight division. Casey need to make a rebound, I guess, with that 16 and 4-1 record. But yeah, another win for Song, Mr. Song, 17-5-1 now. Next fight that we going to talk about. It was Angela Hill versus old girl Tisha Torres. Tisha just, this is Tisha Angela too. Did I say the wrong name? I think I might have just said, but Angela Hill. Actually, I don't. I'm just thinking of that myself. But Angela Hill versus Tisha Torres. Wasn't too great of a fight. During the press conference, there was like some heat, I guess, Angela was saying it wasn't really like any problems or anything. It was just the fact that Tisha Torres wasn't really accepting the fight. But this fight for, in the strawweight division was kind of sloppy, I would say. It was really sloppy, to be honest. Angela Hill, just her fighting style, not too big on it. Neither am I too big on Tisha Torres, to be honest. But like I said, really sloppy on both sides. Angela Hill, just the way she fought, like she would almost, even what's his name, DC was saying that she would almost like flinch and look away when she. I mean, she looks like she has a reach advantage, height advantage. Just I guess that stuff didn't really help Mrs. Angela Hill. But Tisha, I mean, I guess she just went in there. I mean, just looked more. I mean, I guess tougher in a way, just with their punches, just landing everything. She was just doing the right things, I guess, but still really sloppy from both fighters. Not too much more I could say. I mean, Angela did have some like kicks. Just the kicks were really sloppy too. Just they were like she would throw her kicks up and they just weren't really landing. It was just sloppy all over the place. Angela did have what, two takedowns? I think it was two. It might have been two. But Tisha Torres just dominated on the striking area. But yeah, I guess Tisha Torres, she out there. Well, I think she might be on a four-fight win streak, but do I see her um, beating one of the top strawweight fighters? I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But I don't know. That fight didn't really. I wasn't too impressed, to be honest, with either fighter. Angela Hill looks like she could be a really good fighter if she just takes stuff down. But then 13-10, we'll see if she'll even be with the UFC um, after after all this. I mean, I'm not even sure on her contract situation. I'm just saying, 13-10. You ain't no idea, should you? You wait. Um, but other than that, I mean, the fight that I was actually most looking forward to was Mr. Vicente Luque versus Michael Chiesa. Big on old boy Vicente Luque. He even had old boy Mr. Burns on his side. The most interesting. I mean, I figured that it would be the best. I mean, that and Pedro versus I mean, Aldo versus Pedro was actually really big, but you know, I figured that Vicente versus Michael Chiesa was probably going to be the best fight, and I mean, from my vision or my view, I think it probably was, and probably most people. Just how it ended, it was crazy. Michael Chiesa landed, what was it, a combination left right, I think it was, and I think Luca Vicente was actually bleeding. So I'm like, oh man, I didn't expect that, from Michael Chiesa because he's more of a wrestler. But Luca Vicente, his last fight was against Tyron Woodley. Yep, it was against Tyron Woodley. Forget which event it was. It wasn't a fight night. I'm pretty sure it was 260 some or something like that. But yeah. Vicente, oh no, actually, Michael Chiesa hit him with a choke behind choke. I forget what the choke was. Triangle choke. It was a triangle choke. Looked like it was the fight was actually, well, actually, yeah, Michael Chiesa actually did the takedown, which I mean, didn't really see that coming. It looked like the Vicente like was trying to keep it more of a striking match, but not really. I guess it ended up that way, but for a little bit. But Michael Chiesa looked like he was actually dominating in that area, but he decided to go for the takedown, which obviously wasn't the smartest move. But I guess it was smart because Vicente Luque, after the fight, said that his triangle choke was actually 80% in, so that means, but 80%, he said twice 80%, so that means he had a really good chance of tapping him out. But at the same time, Vicente said, I'm really good at defending that, which he showed us that he was. That was some crazy wrestling. That's the kind of wrestling we like to see, a fighter that can defend it and a fighter that can, or the fighters that can both put in the locks and defend it. But obviously, Michael Chiesa could not defend that Doris lock or Doris lock. Probably pronouncing it wrong, but Dorsey lock, yeah, something like that. But Yeah, he landed that, and oh man, it just like I think he actually got out of it once, but then he got into it, and I'm just like, oh man, it's over, and it was over, you know. Second fight in a row where he's submitted a fighter. I think it's might be four in a row for Vicente Luque. Um, Maybe after he did call out Kamaru Usman, Vicente did say that he's expecting him to beat Kobe the Chaos Covington, Juzman versus Chaos, the Nigerian Nightmare. But yeah, Vicente pretty much called him out, and Usman on Twitter responded by saying it was a good fight and just be ready or something like that, something in that area. So, but hey, man, that Chaos versus the Nigerian Nightmare, that fight's gonna be legit. Can't wait for that one. That one's gonna be ecstatic. Well, I'm ecstatic, Chuck. Then the next fight, I mean, to me, that this fight was the best fight, to be honest. We all know what happened with the rest of the two fights, but I'm gonna get into them anyways. You know, Pedro versus Jose Aldo. Munoz, first round, like what thought I had said, I didn't really say it. First round, I didn't really catch too much of it. Just some came up, and I just didn't really catch the first round. But I don't think I missed too much because I pretty much came back. Second round already started. Jose was pretty much just landing them combination. Pedro just had his guard. I just didn't really like how he was. I mean, he was playing in a way. He was attacking, but he was so defensive. You know, with his guard up. You know, Jose had the guard down pretty much almost. Not really too much of a guard. You know, more like a freed up guard, more like a Muhammad Ali style. You know, just pretty much landing punches and punches, kicks. Just Aldo was just landing everything. To be honest, it was just not really. I mean, Pedro was landing some shots too. There was actually a couple of clean punches that he did land, but just nothing too significant compared to what Aldo was landing. You know, Aldo was landing the kicks, punches. He was just landing everything, mate. You know, he just couldn't be stopped. The combination. I'm surprised that Pedro lasted how long he did last, you know, with all the combinations that he hit him with, to be honest. Surprised that it didn't go to, Pedro didn't end up getting knocked out, but it was Brazil versus Brazil, and Aldo came up on top, and, you know, maybe he gets a chance at that bantamweight title again, you know. Bantamweight looking nice out there, so Aldo with another one, Aldo out there. Um, Man, the combinations were beautiful. Just landing everything. Everything that he almost threw was just landing. You can't miss with May. You know, that's why I say this could have been the fight of the night. But at the same time, you know, Song versus there wasn't really like other than that Michael Chiesa Vincent Luque. It wasn't really too like, you know, a big thing that happened, except that Michael Chiesa, look, you know, just the wrestling was superb. It was superb. That was pretty fun to watch. That was probably the best fight of the whole event, to be honest, because Seri versus Derek. That was kind of a downer for me, or a bummer, to be honest. It wasn't all that I expected, but Siri did show that he's dominant. You know, he's a dominant force in the UFC in the heavyweight division. You know, I mean, if he can do that, you know, with if he can do what he just did to Derek Lewis, to be honest, I did not know that that old boy Siri Gunn was so much bigger than Derek Lewis. Yeah, I didn't realize he had such a bigger reach advantage, all that stuff. You know, I'm pretty sure he has a bigger reach advantage compared to Derek Lewis, former I think it was Muay Thai or kickboxing. He looked like looked like a kickboxer. I mean, this is the best I've seen out of Cyril Gane. You know, his biggest fight ever. You know, he's the first ever French champion. Just made Derek Lewis look kind of bad, to be honest. I don't know if, I mean, what, 25-8 and no, you know, or 25-8, one no contest. Derek Lewis just that fight just didn't really. I mean, there's times that he was like trying to move around, Derek Lewis, but it just didn't really look too good for him, not at all, to be honest. I mean, Derek Lewis did say he was going to try to make it an interesting fight. He said if he allows Syria to do whatever he wants, it's going to be a boring fight. And I guess he kind of, Derek was trying to attack a little bit more in a way, but at the same time, you could see right off the bat that Derek was kind of out of it right off the bat. Like, it's crazy. I didn't expect that. He did say he didn't do a lot of running and stuff to be ready for this fight. I mean, he did take it all the way to 3 rounds, but at 4:11, round 3, he just pretty much gave it to him. He just had enough of them the kicks to the knees or the shins and all that. Man, they just killed him. The jab just. Gane has pretty much almost everything. The wrestling just didn't really work out for him. I was shocked that Derek Lewis was actually trying to do it. I think he attempted 2 takedowns, didn't do anything for him. Siri actually himself, he actually tried a couple of takedowns. They didn't really. The takedowns or wrestling just didn't really work for either one. I totally forgot about the very beginning. Surprising to see. Derek actually tried to kick Cyril right in the face, and that didn't work. He almost slipped and could have easily ended the fight right there, if Derek would have, if Siri would have. But Siri, I guess his punches, he landed a lot of punches. Either Derek has a really strong chin or Siri just doesn't have the most power. But then again, even his jabs, when his jabs landed, they looked like they were stinging him. Actually, I don't think it was a straight right. It was actually just a jab that he landed on Derek Lewis that could have easily, I think it was in the first round, that might have actually ended the fight, which, if you guys do remember, y'all sound country out here. But Derek was saying that it was an eye poke, but it was obviously, we saw the replay, obviously was an eye poke. But Siri also called, same timing, they both called for an eye poke. Both of them were like grabbing their eyes and stuff, but Sirius was just a really harsh punch to the oh mate, and that was pretty much it. It was a kick that could have ended it, and it was in the third, and then he just was landing punches left, right, just pretty much landing everything. Then Derek went down. I'm pretty sure it was the leg kick, but then again he hit him with I think it was a strong right. Just everything was landing though for Siri. Then he went down. He never really he wasn't out of it. He wasn't KO technically. It was a TKO. It wasn't really, actual KO. He was never really out, lights out. Like I said, the boy doesn't have no glass jaw. If you ain't got that glass jaw, you ain't getting knocked out. And Derek Lewis stood in there. Maybe Derek Lewis can actually. Syria Gane now is most definitely getting Francis Ngannou unless Johnny Bones Jones decides hey man, forget this, let me get that Syria Gane since Francis Ngannou didn't want to fight or whatever, since he was having some problems with old Dana White. But we all know what's happening next. Siri did say in an interview after this fight he's going to take a little break, so there's a good chance we don't even get the next fight for maybe I wouldn't say a whole year, maybe 5 months. We don't even got too much. Do we got 5 months left in this year? 4 or 5 months left. So there's a good chance we get the fight at the very end of the year. If not, Siri actually might have already fought, 3 times this year? Did he fight 3 or 2 times this year? With the old boy coronavirus here and all that. Not sure on that record, his record at the moment. Yeah, Volkov, he did face Volkov. That was a decision. Jorginho, that was a decision. That was, so 3 times, right? So most likely, Siri Gane. So 3 fights in 1 fight in 2020. What was it? 3 in 2019 and 3 this year, so he's probably going to get another one. That'd be 4 fights in 1 year. Very nice, get an interim belt, then probably, I mean, man, this man's if he's really good on fighting on the outside, so he could probably end up giving a tough fight to old boy Francis Ngannou. But I guess that's gonna be it for today. No need to talk about other fights and all. Probably come back. I mean, I really wanted to talk about the upcoming fights, but we can do that some other. I wanted to really keep it short. Probably come up with some NBA stuff since all the fantastic trades and all that stuff that happened, and boxing is just kind of dead at the moment with Fury versus Wilder being canceled. There was actually a fight today, but I just didn't even bother with that. Ever since I've just been getting deeper and deeper into UFC. Sometimes I just be like, man, what's going on with boxing? But was it Terrence Buddy Crawford? Hopefully Terrence Bud versus Porter. Then we got Earl's The Truth versus Madman Pacquiao. I don't even know if that's the Filipino president or going to be president. But yeah, that's gonna be it for Sports First. Thanks for watching. Follow and do all that other good stuff you want to. If you don't want to, well, thanks for watching anyways. Sabotage out.